Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So what I thought we would do today is do these molds that I made. I made this one, and I've already actually used this mold, so you can tell it's a little more stiff. This is a 20 a silicone, so it's a little stiff, which is good for flat molds because you don't need them to move very much. But I'm going to paint these up with chrome powders. I'm going to use my Baltic Day 30 color chrome powders just because I've got so many more colors. Now this one I made, and this one is 10A. You see the difference? Much more flexible. And the reason I used 10A on that is because I wanted to make this one, which needs to be really flexible. So I'm hoping that 10A will work for this. I'm going to glue some eyes in this. You'll figure out what it is when we demold. And then I'm going to paint these up with some chrome powders. And then we will come back and pour. So I'm going to pitch on a time lapse as I do all that. And I'll see you guys after.
In Linda's room where the rivers flow, epoxy dreams in a golden glow, chrome crosses gleam like a morning star, shining brighter than where we are. Painting light, painting fire, risen sparks our hearts desire, powdered chrome under the sun, art and magic become one. Become one. She pours the resin like liquid skies, captured moments in her eyes, a swirl of silver, a touch of gold, 1,000 stories her hands have told. Every stroke, every line, whisper secrets divine. Painting light, painting fire, raising sparks.
Alright guys, so I got everything painted up. This one I used light blue and light champagne gold. Move this stuff out of the way. I didn't pick my brushes up yet. Usually I already have those put up and out of the way before I come back. Sorry about my arm being in front of the camera, guys. Alright, there we go. That was that one. Now with this one, the small cross, I used electric green. I also used aquamarine, black, and silver. The big cross, I used bloody red, sparkling pearl, rose gold, orange, and champagne. And that's the colors I used on this. Let's get these put up out and out of the way. Alright guys, I know this holds 5 ounces for both of them because I've made it before. This one may hold 1.5 ounces probably. And this one holds about 1.5 ounces. So I'm going to mix up 8 ounces and then we're going to come back and we're going to pour. So I'll see you guys in just a moment. Okay guys, so I mixed up 8 ounces. I've got 240 gram, 115 gram part B, 125 gram part A. I've got 20 gram here, 45 gram here for this little thing. And I'm not going to do orange. I was going to do orange, but I have decided that I'm going to do yellow because if these mix, then they'll create orange. So, I want to do more yellow than the red. 1, 2, 3. There's not a lot down in there. Just get that color mixed up. 3 is plenty. You have a higher chance of losing the yellow. So that's why I'm going to do the yellow first, or the most. So 25 grand yellow. Okay. And I'm going to put all of this in the vacuum chamber. There's our yellow. You do have to shake these pigment dyes because they do settle. And then probably just one drop of red will be enough. It's usually a pretty strong color. And for 20 grams, I think that'll be plenty. So I want this translucent. I don't know. I think I want another drop. Okay. There we go. Okay. There's our red and our yellow. Those are mixed. Now when you do chrome powders, it doesn't matter what color you back. It's still going to look good. It's not really going to change the outcome. So I'm going to use my gold mix. This is where I've just dumped a bunch of golds that I had of different brands into a pot because I don't like the bags. And I'm going to back these in gold. This way, if I need any more for this, the gold in with that yellow and red, it'll come match. And that's my whole reasoning for the gold, guys. I think gold is a pretty color. And this looks like it's got some metallic gold in it because I see it floating. Slowly mix. I've already mixed this resin, but I had to separate the colors, so I didn't mix it all at one time. All right. Now, I'm just going to mix this up. Isn't that pretty? Mix this up, get them in the vacuum chamber, and we'll be back for just a moment. All right, guys, I've got everything mixed up here. Now, I think I'm just going to pour a little of this as I'm pouring a little of this, and just kind of hope that it does its thing. Now, I'm going to squeeze that. Make sure I got my eyes in there, don't I? I see a bubble. I see a couple of bubbles, actually. So, let's get a dotting tool, and hopefully I don't lose the eyes. See if I can get those out. Ooh, I hit an eye, so I know something on in there. Okay. Now, maybe I spritz a little alcohol. And I'm just going to pour a little of that, and a little of that, and a little of that. Now, I know there's some little areas down in here that are likely to get bubbles. If I can get them out. Because there's nothing down in there. I can see that. And the way this is made, it's real funny because it looks like it's got bubbles anyways when it's made, but it's just the way the piece is made. I don't see any coming out. Maybe that's a good sign. Maybe the alcohol did help. Okay, now let's see if we can finish filling this up. I really want the yellow because, like I said, the red will take over. So I definitely want all of the yellow in there. It'd be nice to be able to see some of it when it's cured, but I doubt we will. Okay, and like I said, this is an ounce and a half. So, an ounce and a half is what it takes. Okay, and we still have just a little bit left. All right. We'll let that just kind of sit there. Now, hopefully, this resin goes down into each one of these little grooves that's in this, and we don't get bubbles. Now, the first time I made this, it turned out so pretty, but I messed the video up, so we're doing it again. Just letting it pour down through there. And where this is a stiffer mold, I can pick it up and drop it and try to pop some bubbles loose. The thinner one, I don't know, or it's not thicker, it's just a more solid silicone because it's a higher shore hardness. This one is a 20. Okay, pour some more in here. I want it to go right over those edges. Okay, now this one, there's a lot of little intricate areas over those words, and that's what I need to make sure that my resin goes down in all those. So with this, I'm just going to roll it around, try to get it in every spot. There we go, same way up here. And he needs just a little bit more, and then I'm going to drop this sucker a couple of times. Okay. Sorry about the air purifier. The alcohol really sets that sucker off. Sometimes this will help the bubbles pop loose when you have those intricate designs, and you see how steady, how solid the mold is. 30 is even more solid than this. All right, I think I've got that. Now, I want to make sure that I get every one of these little letters. So I'm going to roll this around and hopefully get in all those little triangle areas as well. You can see how handy this mold is. And let it kind of roll. There we go. Now, I'm just going to drop this one as well, and you see how it really bends. I'm hoping with it really bending, if I do this, and it's getting those bubbles out of those small numbers and things and letters. And I really hate to do this. That's a bubble. But if I don't get them, then half my letters are going to be missing, or half my numbers. So I've really got to be mindful. You can paint it up afterwards, though, as long as I get every area in prison. And being very careful, trying not to get my color off, and just make sure there's no bubbles. Just poking around. Okay, I'm going to drop it again. Okay. You see a bubble right there? Let me just pop it. Okay, that looks good. I see some bubbles here. You can pull it back and you can actually see them. And you can pop them. Okay. Alright, guys. I believe we're okay. Best I'm going to get it anyways. Now, let's finish filling these up. Like I said, I know these take 5 for both of them. Because this one probably takes 4 and that one only takes about an ounce. They are really pretty when they're done though. I think that one's full. You do not want to dome these in handmade molds. You'll have a lot more training. And this one. Almost. Okay. I think I filled him up a little too much, but it's okay. This one can use just a little bit more. Alright, so I mixed up 8 ounces. I know he took an ounce and a half, and I have an ounce left. So, 6.5. I got about an ounce left. So that one probably takes a half ounce. That one probably takes an ounce. That one's like 3.5 maybe. Alright, now I'm going to spritz this a little. Try to pop some bubbles. Alright guys, I've got a little gold left. Where's that little tiny tray? I love that little tray. I think gold will look pretty. May not have enough to completely fill it up, but this is an Lindasresin mold, which I do have a 20% off discount code for Lindasresin. I know that looks like a lot of alcohol, guys. I always end up with bubbles down in there on this thing, and I don't understand why. So we're going to see if that'll help. But I'll flash the code up on the screen here. Over. Whoops. Get the camera over here. And then I will have it in the description code as well for you all. Okay. Now, I try not to get bubbles down in this. I do everything I can, and I still end up with bubbles down in there. So I'm going to keep making this until I figure out how to not have bubbles. And then I know everything else is plenty to fill in with enough. It's such a pretty tray. This came in my mystery mold bag. Here lately, they've been doing this mystery mold bag, and you get 5 handmade molds. And the first time it's like $35, but the molds were not very functional, we'll say. So you couldn't really use them for anything. And this time they improved it. Of course, it costs more. And it's like $60 or something. And you got 5 handmade molds that were bigger. And this was one of them. So I really liked this time. I'll definitely be ordering it next month as well if I continue to do this. I like the mystery molds. I don't know what you're going to get. If you're interested, it's always something new and exciting and different. And okay. Now, I'm going to poke around on this thing and try to get those bubbles out of there that I know are lurking, because they always do. Doesn't matter what I do. So this time I'm going to take my dotting tool and I'm going to go right along these little areas down in there. Yep, you see that bubble come out? And see if I can get some of these bubbles to come out. I know they're down in there. That was another one. I get bubbles down and I looked and it's not a mold. So here's a bubble. Yeah, I'm getting some bubbles out now. Another bubble. Come on, bubble. Good deal. The mold's not painted, so much easier to scrape around down in there. Careful not to damage your mold. Don't use anything really sharp. This is just a dotting tool that will got a little ball on the end, so it's not really going to scratch it. Okay, now let's spritz some alcohol on that. It's way too much, but you know, I'm an over-the-top person anyways. Alright guys, we're going to let all this cure up, and we're going to come back for a demold. I will see you guys in a bit. Everything has cured up, so let's demold it and get it out of here. I did go ahead and try to clean my molds up around them as best as I could. That way I don't get things down in there. So let's do our extra first. Okay, still bubbles. I don't know how to prevent those. I'm not sure that you can. Okay, I got a color of something else in there. Must have already been in the mold. Alright, there's a little gold trinket tray that's very pretty. I tried to find this mold on the Lindasresin website, but I can't find it. I hope they list it soon, because this is one of my favorites that was in my my mystery bag. Okay, this is our little cross. That's pretty. I might take and fill the letters in a little more to have them stand out a little bit better. And I do have some trimming to do on that. But very pretty mold. Molded very well. I'm thinking about starting an eBay store, and I might fit that one in it along with these two, because these molded very well also. That's pretty. I love that green. Very pretty. And our big one. This one's my favorite. I love that. Doesn't matter what colors you do it in. It turns out gorgeous every time. Love it. Now our little mystery mold that I made. Let's see if I can get this demolded. You can probably tell what it is now. Okay. If you use 10A silicone, this one pops right out. And I got his eyeballs. Isn't he cute? He's the cutest little octopus. But I might mold him as well if I start an eBay store. I do need to put a little UV down in that bubble and cure his eyes a little better. Got some silicone under his eye. He molded up awesome. Do you see the little divots I was talking about? You would think they were bubbles, but it's actually made. That's how the mold is made. So I got to trim him up there. But isn't he the cutest? I love how his tip stayed yellow on most of them, and then he turned orange. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to fix this little fella up, trim these up, take some photos, and I'll see you guys back for the next video. So, bye for now.
In Linda's reason room.